Hi friends, today we are going to see about this Workmen's Compensation Act 1923. Now let us look the objective of this act. The Workmen's Compensation Act 1923 aims to provide workmen and or their dependents some relief in case of accidents arising out of and in the course of employment and causing either death or disablement of workmen. So generally it safeguards the worker regarding compensation. Now the scopes and coverage. The acts extend to the whole of India. The workman whose occupation is hazardous should be included within the scope of this act. This act applies to workmen employed in the factories, mines, plantations, transport establishment, construction work, railways, ship, circuses, and other hazardous occupations, employment specified in Schedule 2 to the Act. The Act does not apply to the members of armed forces of the Union and those workers who are insured under the Employees State Insurance Act 1948. The coverage of this act is also cooks employed in hotels and restaurants. So for many workers this act is applicable. Only the workers comes under ESIC 1948 are not comes under this act. Now there are different definitions covered in section 2: commissioner, dependent, employer, disablement, wages, workmen. So these all definitions are explained in this act. Now here is the definition of dependent. The dependent means any of the following relatives of a deceased workman, namely a widow, a minor legitimate or adopted son, an unmarried legitimate or adopted daughter, or a widowed mother. So who are the dependent are clearly defined in this dependent section 2 1D. A widower, a parent other than a widow or mother, a minor illegitimate son. So these are directly defined so that the dependent can take help of this act and get the compensation. Then employer means it includes any person or body of persons whether incorporated or not, any managing agent of an employer, the legal representative of a deceased employer. So who are employed means who are comes in these employer sections are clearly defined in this section. Then workman, who is workman? So it is also clear in this workman section. A railway servant as defined in clause 34 of section 2 of the Railways Act 1989, not a permanently employed in an administrative district or sub-divisional office of railway and not employed in any such capacity as in specified in Schedule 2. So it clearly defines who is workman, and workman means any person who is. So here by using this compensation, Workmen's Compensation Act, so there is one book. So by referring this we can able to know who is workman. Then person to be treated as workman. So there must be a contract of employment. There must be a relationship of master and servant between the employer and the employee. The employment is for the purpose of employer, trade or business. Then employee's liability to pay compensation. So this comes under section 3. As per section 3(1) of the act, the following condition must necessarily be satisfied in order to qualify for compensation. The first one is he must be a workman within the meaning of this act. Personal injury must have been caused by accident. So it must be within the industry. The injury must have been caused by accident. The accident must have arisen out of and in the factory course employment or factory premises. The injury caused by the accident must have resulted in the workman's death or permanent total disablement or temporary disablement. accident arising out of and in the course of his employment. The employer is liable to pay compensation in case of personal injury and occupational disease. Personal injury includes a physical, mental injury or strain or shock caused by excitement. So, when the accident or an injury occurs in the factory premises, then and then only this act is applicable. Also, when you are doing some work regarding factories outside the factory premises, that time also this Workman Compensation Act can work. So, incidental to his employment and injury then arises out of employment. An injury could be held to have arisen out of employment if it is established that it must have resulted from some risk incidental to the duties of the service or inherent in the nature of employment. Then doctrine of national extension of employment is also here. So it means when the employer provides the employee with a particular convenience to and from the place of employment, the employee is regarded as the course employment, even though he has not reached or has left his employer premises. If the worker is concerned or employee is concerned with the factory work, then whether he is outside the factory or inside the factory, so he is the part of employment. Now disablement. So disablement, reduction in earning capacity. It may be partial or total disablement. Partial disablement means temporary partial disablement, then permanent partial disablement, total disablement temporary and permanent. So this is also categorized at different level. So temporary means what, permanent means what, total disablement means what, clearly explained in this act. So now here is the calculation of compensation. So in case of death, amount of compensation is equal to 50% of monthly wages into relevant factors or rupees 80,000 whichever is more. For permanent total disablement, 60% of monthly wages or relevant factor or rupees 90,000 whichever is more. For permanent partial disablement, 60% of monthly wages. Then for temporary disablement, 25% of monthly wages. So this is the calculation for compensation. So employer not liable. The injury does not result in the disablement for a period exceeding 3 days. So if injury is within 3 days or recover within 3 days, then employer is not liable to pay compensation. The injury results in, thank you, I hope you all understand what is meant by Workman Compensation Act and what, so generally it safeguards the worker if any accidents occurs inside the factory premise or outside the factory premise while the workers is at employment. So for this the employer has to give compensation to this concerned employee. Thank you very much.